You get a skincare consultation first. Favorite thing is that you twist it. I've noticed a big difference in my skin since I've been using it every single evening.
If you're a parent and you have children, you know how socially aware your children are. And that's when I start thinking, maybe it's time to not only, stop doing it.
You want to be a boy?
No.
But also to sort of erase it. I love my children more than I love my YouTube videos. I just want to give them an opportunity to curate their own life story.
Hi guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I'm actually sat right here in my hallway because I cannot get a quiet second to film because of my children. It is still Easter holidays, so I hope you can appreciate it. This is like Mr. Palm tree up there. I will spin around in a minute, but there's like two big plants right there as well. We love plants in this household. Hi, hello, how are we all? I may or may not stay like directly here because it is quite difficult to like obviously find a spot in this house that isn't filled with cat or children. This is going to be like, it won't be my last SACCONEJOLY video ever, so don't worry. But it's definitely going to be like the last before like I move on to some other things as well, because I have actually been doing other content, believe it or not. It's just that the SACCONEJOLYs, not only does my audience grow with it, but people within my audience are always telling me to talk about a particular thing, and it's just so happened that there's been this like snowball effect with the SACCONEJOLYs. Like from the very first video I ever made about them, there's been so many developments that I've just been keeping my eye on them. Someone is out there kind of thinking like, oh, like why do you keep on going after them? I've made a couple videos where, yeah, it wasn't relevant to really what they were doing this time, but I thought it was relevant because everyone was discussing them, but also because it's been a developing thing, so I've just sort of been following it, if that makes any sense. I don't want it to appear like I'm bullying. I don't want it to appear like I'm going after them because I'm just trying to get my name out there. The fact that these videos do well is kind of here nor there because it's been a developing thing and I'm not the only person who has been talking about it, and because I know so much about them anyway, I enjoy talking. Alright, here's your pillow over here. What I'm going to be talking about in today's video, which is basically like the aftermath. It's going to be addressing Jonathan's TikTok, and it's also going to be addressing the contrast between Anna and Jonathan and what that means, you know, in terms of their Insta stories, but then also in terms of, you know, like how are they going to go forward with this? Like, what is in store now that all of their videos have been deleted?
Favorite thing is that you twist it every time and the perfect amount comes out.
Okay, so we're just going to get into it and just going to like address a couple of things, right? So basically, as soon as I left, because my last video, I basically filmed it when Jonathan had basically deleted just a few of the videos, mostly Evie's journey videos, and then it then came on, and now they've deleted just everything, and whether or not they've privatized it or not is another thing. I've had a couple messages saying that they've been like clicking links on some of their videos and it just says that it's been privated, so who knows. But what I will say is that I just want to talk about like the complete night and day difference between them two, which I found interesting. This isn't me being mean. I know people say like, oh, you're being really, really mean, blah, 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 blah. This isn't being mean. This is literally just like, I'm just retelling the news. I'm just giving you the information. Anna comes back literally the next morning. Anna comes back and she's like selling something in quite a like, she looks beautiful, bless her, but she's basically coming on and trying to sell something in a really like robotic way.
Again, since I've been using it every single evening.
Like trying to like sell something. And then there's Jonathan, who was doing not only this, like he did this like TikTok, which we're going to get into, going into why he left, but mostly on TikTok.
Videos that I spent the last 14 years making. Let me explain why. Just because everybody tells you at one point in time that what you're doing is right doesn't necessarily mean that will always be right.
So yeah, so basically with the TikTok, he basically made this TikTok, and I will play bits of it right here, not really explaining like why he's left. Sort of, he's saying that he thinks that now is the time for his kids to make their own internet blueprint or footprint, whatever, probably footprint. And I just want to say, like, the problem is that the internet is literally forever. And even if you deleted all of that footage, there's footage still circulating, and like there still will be footage circulating.
A parent and you have children, you know how socially aware your children are. And that's when I start thinking, maybe it's time to not only, stop doing it, but also to sort of erase it. I love my children more than I love my YouTube videos. I just want to give them an opportunity to curate their own life story on the internet.
So I don't really quite understand. Also on TikTok, he's still got all of his videos up on TikTok. Is he going to delete them everywhere? I think it's a complete knee-jerk reaction to the fact that they were receiving so much backlash. And my channel barely made a dent. I mean, you had massive channels like Blair White and the Dab Challenge podcast who were covering this, who were saying, no, this isn't right. There were others as well, of course, who were saying, no, this isn't right, and bringing it to attention. Then you then had everyone on TikTok. And it just seems like a fairly, this is my opinion, this is just my opinion, but I think it's a very coincidental, it's quite coincidental how he suddenly came to this realization that his kids don't need to be on his platform anymore, right around the time that people were digging up his past videos. It's like he's trying to hide something. But then again, this is what we all wanted. All we wanted was for Edie's private life to get off of YouTube. I'm not even totally against you showing your kids on camera. There's a really big difference between documenting what you're doing as a parent, as a mum, whatever, and then your kids appearing. But then when the sole focus of your content becomes your children, that's where I find it a bit icky. And my kids feature from time to time because I'm a mum and they will not leave me alone for more than 5 seconds. So that's okay. For me, like, if the gateway for discussion is perfection, then we're all screwed. That's just the way that I think of it, and the way that I don't have an issue, he deleted everything, like everything was gone, and not just the footage that everyone was taking issue with immediately. All of it was gone, and I think it was such an extreme and knee-jerk reaction. He goes on to mention that he wants, his kids to have their own internet footprint. That's already been made up as far as I'm concerned. I think there's so much information about them online. That, also he did also say that, he said, oh, now the time's right, but not even that long ago he said that he can't wait, he feels bad because Andrea wasn't on the floor. It wasn't even that long ago. So fair enough if your opinions change, but he was making comments like that all the time through his videos. This is what I mean. It's going to be harder for people to back up what they're trying to say about them because there's no footage. But luckily I have made videos on them in the past, so I'll try and pull reference from what I'm saying. But people who know will understand what I'm trying to say. People, if you don't agree with showing kids whatsoever on your channel, then you got what you wanted. I just wanted Edie's journey, and I've talked about their other past scandals and bad things that they've done. I just wanted that gone. Unfortunately, just deleting it off of YouTube is not going to fix the problem that there are multiple copies of these things just circulating every single platform at the minute. And even now, okay, so I'm going to pull up a post that he did today. So today is Friday. He pulled up a post, and it was basically it was something Obama had said, something like that, and he was basically saying he wants Obama to come back, and he was basically saying that you can't say anything without being shut down, and that the internet has become a really dark place. And it's like,
oh, I'm such a donut. I'm so bad at explaining things. Basically, this whole post was basically about Barack Obama making a statement saying that there is a lot of misinformation being spread around the internet, and the internet bodies need to make sure that their algorithms are actually filtering out this spread of misinformation, so that people don't get conned into believing one thing, like conspiracy theories and things. But somehow Jonathan manages to make that about himself, and I'm just like, I mean, there's an element, I suppose, he might be talking about the transgender community and things, because there's a lot of uproar going on about it. So there might be to do with that, but he just manages to then bring it like back in 2008. It's like, it's not about you, but of course he'll make it about himself.
Won't face the criticisms. It feels like a toddler reaction to just, it feels like he's just kicking his toys out the pram, and he's just deleted and erased everything, because he's never gonna come on and explain. Even his TikTok, he was basically just going, why I wanted to start the channel. It's like, we have heard why you've wanted to start this YouTube channel for so long now. I can't even tell you the amount of times I've heard this story of Jonathan starting a YouTube channel. Everyone knows, his long-time followers know this, so I don't know why we have to keep on rehashing it. He never addresses why he's stopped. He's never addressed any of the criticisms that have come out. He's just very much ignoring it, and he's gone, fine, everyone's unhappy, I'm just going to tell everyone that it's because I want privacy for my children. And he doesn't even really say it like that. He says it in a, I want them to make their own internet footprint. And it's like, well, that's never going to happen. But what you could start with is by addressing all of these things, because to delete everything, coincidentally, straight as the Dad Challenge podcast was coming out of like a part 2 of his Stacey Dooley documentary, he was just coming out, Stacey Dooley video, he was coming out with a part 2, that's when he's deleted absolutely everything. It's quite coincidental is all I'm trying to say, and he never addresses any of this. It's almost as if he's like, oh no, like, I've pushed it as far as I possibly can now, oh, I'm just going to run away from it. But the problem is that he has said, even recently, that YouTube earns them the most amount of money. Like, I'll put it right here. They say that YouTube earns them the most amount of money. They don't really earn money from other avenues. So I'm only assuming that he's like, that he has done something clever with his money, whether he's put it into the stock market, whether or not that's clever, I don't really, invested some money or something a bit like that. I'm just not entirely sure how he's like planning on coming back round with it. I just don't know. I just don't know. What I find really quite interesting is that not only has he deleted all the videos, but he's also disabled all of the comments for like the past year or something on his TikTok. And that was where a lot of this discussion was coming from, where people were going, have you seen this video? Have you seen that? Have you seen that? And now all of a sudden that's gone. It's like he really is trying to put a blanket over all of it. And I think until he comes out and makes a public message, people are not going to let this go. I most certainly am going to let this go for the time being until like something brand new comes out of it. I'm not just going to sit here beating a dead horse. I'm just, like I say, I'm just relaying this information to you. You know, instead of posting like passive aggressive pictures and captions and tweets and everything, why not just come out? Because that TikTok didn't really say anything. It just explained how he started YouTube and the fact he wants to get them off. But you know, he says in it as well that he's made a lot of mistakes. He's not sure if it was a good or a bad thing.
I don't know if making YouTube videos was the right or wrong thing to do, but I did it. Not like we were doing the right thing, because everything around us kept telling us, keep going. I developed a lot of mental health problems during the time of doing YouTube, because I felt this huge pressure to keep going. No matter what was going on in my life, I had to keep going. Book, which is called All My Friends Are Invisible.
Please order.
I kept saying when I was under press stuff, and they'd ask me, and I'd say, I wouldn't do YouTube today. I wouldn't do YouTube today the same way I did YouTube when I did YouTube. I started to sort of stop making YouTube videos, which brings us to today.
You must know deep down that it was some sort of a bad thing to then delete all of that footage. But what I will just say is that what I think a lot of his audience are wanting, whether or not they're fans or not, is some sort of an explanation. I mean, the people who are long-term fans are probably going, wow, like where have you gone? Because not only has have all the videos gone, but there's also no channel of communication if the TikTok comments have been disabled, and some of the Instagram comments I think have been disabled as well. So it's just limiting the way of speaking. But if he just came out, both of them together in fact, just came out and explained and said, hey, like, even if it's not them saying we're so incredibly sorry, which I do think they should say, we should have handled it better, well, they definitely do, just some sort of like, just anything, because they've quite literally given us nothing. They've just given us very vague. I mean, Anna's just carrying on as if nothing even happened.
Morning guys, just finished a workout.
Which she's always kind of done that, apart from that rant, I'll link it up here, but apart from that rant that she did, apart from that, not really a lot's been going on with that either. And I'm just sat here just like, I just don't understand. But that's kind of what I'm hoping is just like an element of discussion. And if there's any more discussion, if there's like more stories that come out, then of course I will respond to it. But for the time being, I just don't think that there's a lot really that's going to be going on with them. Like, I just, their podcast, because they did actually do a podcast and now they're now going to come back, and I just don't know. I'd love to hear everyone's thoughts and opinions on this. Where do you think they're going to go? How are they going to make their money? Are they going to come back and make an apology? I'm really curious. I would love it if they came back and just address the situation in one form or the other, not do a really vague TikTok and passive aggressive Instagram post, but we can dream. So yeah, that's just how I'm going to leave it until we get any more developments. But thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day wherever you are in this world. Sun is shining. I'm going to go outside and sort the kids out. So yeah, have a wonderful day and I'll catch up with you guys in the next video.